Good morning, Legacy Church and friends. Hope your weekend was fantastic. And hopefully you remember the fallen and the families of those who gave their very best for all of us. It's Wednesday, and I hope it's off to a great start. Had a couple of thoughts I just wanted to share quickly. And so many of the thoughts that I have come out of my own experience and just what I'm facing at the moment. And in the last few days, I say days, really the last several weeks, just been under some pressure. You probably know what I'm talking about. Just some anxiety, some worry, and wondering where the answer is going to come from. With us, of course, we're in the process of launching a brand new church, and we're so excited about that. This is our lane and what God has called us to, and what God has called so many of you to as well. But along with challenges like this, there's always sacrifices and there's always challenges. And one of those are budget challenges. And anytime you plant a church, there's going to be a budget challenge unless you have someone that's funding it for you. And so literally every day I'm thinking about, okay, God, where's the money for sound system going to come from? Where's the money for facility rental? Where's the money for curriculum? Where's the money? And just money budget type stuff. And so I'm looking at, getting another job and doing everything possible to continue feeding money into the launch of this new church. And so it's just worry, it's just anxiety, and you just think about it all the time because it's there. And in order to move forward, some of these questions have to be answered. And so through some of that, I've had to come back to what I know. I've had to come back to where I know the answer is going to come from, and that's in trusting God for it. And maybe your worry's different than mine today. Maybe your challenge looks like a relationship issue. Maybe it's something going on in your kid's life. Maybe it's something in your health. Maybe it's things going on at your job, but there's a challenge there. And from that challenge comes this tension and this stress. And so I've had to do what I've told so many others to do. And that is, number one, to talk to God about it and to be very frank in that conversation, to be very honest. And that's what I've done. And that's what Megan and I have done, is we've said, Lord, here's where we are. And we've stepped out in faith, and we've left income behind to do this. And we're not sponsored by an organization. It's just us and you. And we need you in this situation. If you've called us to it, you're going to resource it. And we've had very honest, open conversations with God. And I believe that's always the first step, is bringing what the Bible calls our petitions, our request, before Him. And so we've talked to God about it. And today I'll talk to God more about it. And then from offering those petitions in a very honest way before the Lord, I try to do something else. And that is, number two, I profess my testimony. Now, that sounds kind of churchy, but what that means to me is I talk about what I already know. I talk about what I know that He's already done. And I look at my own life and, oh my, there's so many miracles. Times where He provided, where He healed, where He showed up in just the nick of time. And I remember those things and I talk about it. And even this week, I've shared with a couple of people a testimony from my past of how God has showed up and did something great, did something that no one else could do but Him. And just by professing my testimony or telling my story, it doesn't even have to be mine. It can be one from the Bible or one from someone else's life. Through that, the Scripture says we overcome by the word of our testimony. It begins to build our faith, because that's what I need right now, is a strong belief. That's what's going to give me peace, is that strong belief that God knows where we are. He understands the intimate details, and He already has a plan worked out. We just don't see the plan, but He already has it worked out. I just need that faith, and professing your story, what you know already, is going to help you do that. And then the third thing that I've been trying to do is, after I profess my testimony, and I'm doing that all the time, then I ask the Lord for wisdom. and I ask him for guidance, because what I'm wanting to know is, do I have a part in the process? The miracle is going to come from you, and I don't have to do the miraculous part, but is there a part that I play? And if there is, give me wisdom in that. Give me some action steps. I want to make sure I'm positioned for the miracle that you want to do. And so I say, Lord, tell me what my next step is. I can't do the big stuff, but I want to do whatever I'm responsible for. So I pray for wisdom in my next steps, and then I just act on that wisdom. I do what I need to do. And maybe it's talking to a certain person, or maybe it's teaching a certain message, or maybe it's going into a certain income stream that I haven't started yet. Whatever it is, God knows. I just need the wisdom to know also. But then once he shows me, then I have the faith to act on it. And then finally, the last thing is, I just do it all over again. And every day I go back and I pray and I talk to God about where we are and this heart that we have and the passion we have. And I talk to him about the need, and then I profess my testimony again, and I build that faith. And then I ask the Lord for wisdom in my next steps. And then I just follow the Lord and whatever those next steps are. And he may not give me the whole path, but he's given me just enough to know what to do right now. And I just do it over and over again. And through that, it's amazing the peace that God has brought to my heart. The challenge is still there, but I've got peace on the inside, knowing that God is in control. And I believe that God knows exactly where you are. And I believe that he's in control of your situation. And I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that God's going to give you peace through it, and there's a miracle coming on the other side. Hope you have a fantastic day today. God bless. Believing with you for a miracle today.